All right, everyone, remember that Zuckerberg came out a couple days ago and did his stupid rant about how the government needed more power over the internet. We need more regulation. We need to be more like Europe because, you know, liberty is a bad thing. Orange man bad, Russia bad, so, you know, fuck the internet basically is how Zuckerberg looks at it. Facebook made a little bit of an oopsie. Yeah, they accidentally exposed millions of people's private data. See, what was happening is that data was being held for third-party groups to be able to use, because it's how Facebook makes money, and they didn't secure it properly. In some cases, it involved as well apparently unhashed passwords, which possibly fucked their accounts. And this was going on for quite some time. They just didn't know that this data was vulnerable. Now, was there an actual breach? I'm not sure that they're saying that it actually was accessed by anyone who was unauthorized. But the mere fact that this keeps fucking happening, think about it. These are supposedly the best, brightest, most secure, and best trained professionals in Silicon Valley. These companies, they pay through the nose for the best engineers, the best cybersecurity experts. They have white hat hackers helping them out with security vulnerabilities. Supposedly, like, you know, fortress data, so to speak, like impenetrable. And yet things like this happen that are like elementary mistakes, and they're like, whoops, yeah, sorry that we took all of your private messages and, you know, put them out in the open for anyone to access. You know, basically it could have been publicly searchable. We're sorry that we did that. Just keep trusting us. Give us more of your data. Make sure to get the new upgraded Facebook messaging app. It gives you an iris scan to make sure it's really you logging in. Whoops, we misused those too. Sorry, but the Chinese government ended up getting a hold of them. See, sometimes I think with data sharing arrangements, what's happening is that big tech gathers data on people. Now, it can't directly give it to like US government or law enforcement. But if it gets left out in the open and accidentally exposed, and there's no legal repercussions at the moment for that by, say, a foreign state, through data sharing, they can give that material to a third-party group that then can share it with the U.S. government. It's not illegal for the U.S. government to go to a foreign firm and say, hey, you get all this data and shit, trying to improve, you know, cybersecurity. How about we'll offer you $1 billion for this. We just need all of this material. You can pack it up in some USB drives or something. Yeah, of course stuff like that happens. Have you heard of the Five Eyes? There's all sorts of data sharing. The U.S. can't directly spy on its own citizens to the degree that a foreign state can, but it can have the foreign state do it under the table, of course. Simply let them do so and then buy that data later. No, it's not a breach of privacy. They're not the ones spying on you. It's a British service or the Swedes or something. And we can do the same for them because there's topical privacy in mind in some of those countries too. Isn't data sharing lovely? The exportation of the breaching of the Constitution is such a lovely thing, especially in regards to the internet. But yeah, half the time they don't even need that. People willingly give all sorts of shit to Zuckerberg all the time. It's like when people who are like, you know, like the weird side of YouTube. For years, they were talking about, oh, the RFID tracking chips are coming. It's the mark of the beast. They're going to put like a barcode on your forehead. I'm like, you've already got one, dude. You carry your smartphone wherever you go. You're already being tracked. You're not, you think that you turned the geolocation and the telemetry off and stuff like that. Dude, if you carry a smartphone with you, they can find out exactly where you've been at all hours. Whether or not you crack down on that phone's data sharing systems or not isn't going to make any difference. No, don't worry, they've got plenty of backdoors. Hell, they've got them in Windows 10 all the time too, and in all Apple products. They can do whatever they want. There's no encryption that they can't break for the most part. Or only very rarely. And then they can drag you into court for contempt if you try to use it, without plausible deniability, by the way. It's like when Hillary Clinton used BleachBit, when she acid washed her hard drives, which was the funniest fact-checking ever by Snopes, by the way. Should have gotten in trouble for obstruction of justice, but, you know, it was a Clinton, so it doesn't matter, I suppose. We're going to take Miss Clinton's devices and smash them with a rubber mallet. This is exactly what you are supposed to do, according to the U.S. government, with sensitive data. That is the funniest thing ever. Facebook keeps doing this. Like, of all of the companies, all the big tech firms, Facebook is definitely the most shitty when it comes to user privacy. Not only because they deliberately have developed their model of making money after specifically spying on users and selling that data to third parties, without telling them, in most cases, by the way. Not only because of that, but because even when they're trying to, like, supposedly keep the data safe, they just seem incapable of doing that. I don't know, the other day I was thinking, well, maybe I'll revive the Facebook group and I'll, you know, start sporadically posting video links and shit there just to have an ongoing presence. It would, you know, kind of make sense from a branding perspective because I'm expanding right now. Big things are ahead in the not too distant future. Stuff like this just, I can't fucking deal with this shit. I'd rather like get an Instagram and sell out there or something. Maybe I will. I'm considering the possibility. I think it'd be funny, you know, something that's a little bit more specifically entertainment as opposed to fucking posting video links all day. I want to do a little bit more than just be sort of doing the vlogging and books. In all honesty, I'm branching out into music, I guess, as a medium at this point. That's pretty fun. I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a try, but I mean, it's still a Zuckerberg service. It's like anything you post can and will be used against you if you ever try to run for office is basically the idea. Oh, don't think that there aren't people that have that in mind. I am sure that all sorts of politically partisan groups and activistic firms all around the world, I guarantee this, are constantly trying to figure out ways to get to this data. They're trying to buy it. They're trying to hack into it. They're trying to use third parties to obtain it. I fucking guarantee that that's going on because there's no reason not to. There's no significant repercussions, number one. In fact, it's not even technically illegal in some cases, depending on how they go about it. There's no major repercussions, and there's a big payoff. Risk versus reward. Always look at that when you're trying to analyze what will or can happen. It can be breached, we know that, and often is, the data, the private data of users on Facebook and elsewhere. It can be breached. There is a big payoff if you manage to breach it in some way, and there's no significant repercussion for attempting and failing to do so. Why wouldn't you do that? Yeah, absolutely you would. Yeah, I want the data on my competitor, that the competing bakery down the road. I want his dick pics, basically. I want to put him out of business. Yeah, I'm sure that happens all the time. Hey, I know this mid-level employee at Facebook. Hey, dude, can you get me some data? I need it. Just for reasons. Don't worry about it too much. No, you're not doing anything illegal. You know, you might get fired from Facebook, but you know, who fucking cares at this point? You're probably going to get laid off at some point anyway because they keep shrinking. That's about all. Peace out.